July 14, 2025, Nigeria woke up to the news of two iconic losses. A former military ruler, General Muhammadu Buhari, and a traditional titan, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, the Awujale of Ijebu land. Different in roles, yet united in spirit, values, and legacy. Their friendship defined boundaries. One ruled from the seat of military command, the other from the throne of ancient Ijebu royalty. Yet, what linked Muhammadu Buhari and Oba Adetono was far deeper: integrity, honesty, fearlessness, and an unshakable love for the people. In 1983, following Nigeria's military coup, Buhari became head of state at a time when monarchs feared political retaliation. History records that Buhari's military government offered unexpected protection for the outspoken Awujale. It was said that the coup saved him. Both men believed leadership was a call to serve and not a seat of privilege. They were known for saying it as it is. They challenged corruption, questioned power, and always put the people first. On July 14th, Nigeria lost two men and a generation of character. That they both died on the same day is no coincidence. It is symbolic. A crown and a uniform laid to rest, leaving behind a blueprint for service, sacrifice, and sincerity. Their story reminds us that power, whether inherited or earned, must be used to protect and not oppress. In the Awujale and Buhari, we saw two men who led from different ends, yet walked the same path. As Nigerian mourns, may their memory be a call to conscience, a reminder that history will always honor men who led not with fear, but with truth.
The Nigerian music industry has witnessed a significant shift in popularity and success over the years. Many artists who once dominated the airwaves and commanded large followings have seen their careers decline. Here are 10 Nigerian artists whose careers have gone down the drain. 1. Daddy Shoki. Daddy Shoki was a pioneer of the Agbaman style of music. His popularity peaked in the 1990s with hits like Diana. However, his music career has declined significantly since then. 2. Olumentain. Olumentein's hit single Yawuze became a massive success in the late 2000s. However, his subsequent releases failed to match the success of Yawuze, leading to a decline in his music career. 3. Face. Face was a prominent figure in the Nigerian music industry in the late 1990s and early 2000s, despite his hit singles including Femi Kuti and Kolo Mental. His career has struggled to maintain momentum. 4. Solid Star. Solid Star's music career has faced significant challenges, including limited releases and reduced visibility. Despite his initial success, he has struggled to regain momentum in the competitive Nigerian music industry. 5. Red MC. Red MC's unique style and energetic performances initially gained attention. However, her career failed to sustain momentum due to a lack of consistent quality music and strategic management. 6. Flex B. Flex B's popularity peaked in the mid-2000s with hits like Omorire and Number One Fan. However, his subsequent releases failed to match the success of his earlier works, leading to a decline in his career. 7. Tony Tetula. Tony Tetula was known for his humorous lyrics. However, his popularity has waned over the years due to a lack of consistent quality content and changing musical trends. 8. Mehdi. Mehdi's music career has been marked by struggles to regain momentum. Despite his collaborations with prominent artists, he has failed to produce hits that resonate with his fan base. 9. Korede Bello. Koyede rose to fame with his hit single Godwin. Despite his initial success, his music career has experienced a downturn with limited releases and reduced visibility. 10. Dija's soulful voice and potential were evident in her singles. Despite her talent, she has faced challenges in sustaining a successful music career with limited releases and collaborations. Despite their contributions to the Nigerian music industry, their careers have not sustained the same level of success as they once enjoyed.
Hello there and welcome to this News Hour on African News 24 TV. Here we bring you news from Nigeria and across the world. I am Praise Adeleke. The headlines first. President Bola Tinubu sacks Service Chief, appoints General OLUYEDE as new Chief of Defense Staff. Convener of the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, Sowore Rearrested after getting bail. Defense IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu styles as court adjourns. Let's get into the meat of the conversation, shall we? We begin with the report of the sack of the service chief by the President Bola Tinubu. This according to the President's spokesperson Sunday Dare is to overhaul the country's military leadership. In a statement by Dare, General Olufemi Oluyede is now the Chief of Defense Staff, replacing General Christopher Musa. Major General Shaibu is the new Chief of Army Staff, while Air Vice Marshal INEC is the Chief of Air Staff and Rear Admiral. Abbas takes over as Chief of Naval Staff. According to the statement, all appointments takes immediate effect. This development may not be unconnected with the report in certain quarter of a foiled attempt coup earlier in the month. The news generated conversations in the defense headquarters, dispelling it as mere rumors. Let's head out to the courts, beginning with the detention immediately after freedom for the human rights activist Omoyele Sowore. This is as the Nigerian police has again arrested him shortly after regaining his freedom following his arrest on Thursday. Sowore was first arrested on Thursday shortly after leaving the Federal High Court, where he had gone to support the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, who had a day in court. A day after, he was released alongside 11 other protesters who participated in the Monday Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. But before he could enjoy the freedom, he was picked up again outside the Kuje Magistrate Court in Abuja, this time on another charge. The human rights activist is expected to be arraigned on Monday, October 27th, on the first charge related to his claim that President Bola Tinubu is a criminal. Still in court, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has failed to open his defense. Kanu, who said he's able to defend himself, could not open his defense because he said he's yet to be handed the case file to familiarize with its content to enable him prepare adequately for his defense. He prayed the court for more time to get the file and familiarize with its content. He equally applied for an order to the DSS to allow him access to people even on Saturday and Sunday to prepare for his defense, which was granted. The trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, has adjourned the matter till October 2027 with warning that the 6 days granted Kanu to conduct his defense will not be extended. Meanwhile, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, WIKE, has given conditions to appear as a witness in the trial of the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. WIKE, during the media chat in Abuja, said he's yet to get any notifications of him being a witness. According to the minister, no one has served any process. He expressed his willingness to appear only when the court formally summoned him to provide evidence. Kanu had listed WIKE and other individuals as witness in his ongoing trial bordering on terrorism, among other charges. Other persons he listed as witness include former Minister of Defense General Theophilus Danjuma, a former Chief of Army Staff General Tuko Bu, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Minister of Works Dave Umahi, and others. Over to the southwest, where the Ondo state government has vowed to ensure justice for the victims of the recent fatal truck accident in Akoko, which claimed several lives and left others injured. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Kayode Ajulo, made this commitment in a statement on Friday. He promised that those responsible for the tragedy would face the full weight of the law. Ajulo said the state government had begun investigations to identify and prosecute both the driver and the owner of the truck involved in the crash. He explained that the government would not tolerate negligence or reckless driving that endangers the life of citizens. Into politics, pressure is mounting on former President Goodluck Jonathan to shelve plans to contest the 2027 presidency as prominent Niger Delta figures intensify efforts to secure his support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election. Ex-militant leader, High Chief Government, Tompolo is spearheading the campaign, accompanied by other top associates. The group reportedly visited Jonathan at his residence in Ogbai local government area of Bayelsa State. While earlier media reports suggested discussions centered on peace and security in the region, sources close to both men says the visit was primarily political. According to a top Jonathan associate who asked not to be named, the meeting focused on persuading the former president to drop his alleged presidential ambition and back Tinubu for a second term. Still in politics, 2 senators have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. The lawmakers, Senator Kaila Dahuwa and Agom Jarigbe, says they crossed to show their commitment to President Bola Tinubu's economic reform agenda. We have more in this report.
President Bola Tinubu has received 2 senators who recently defected to the All Progressives Congress, further strengthening the ruling party's majority in the Senate. Senate President Godswill Akpabio led Senator Kaila Samalia and Senator Jarigbe Agom Jarigbe to the presidential villa in Abuja, where they pledged their support to the president's economic reform initiative. Akpabio described the defections as acts of patriotism, saying the lawmakers' decision reflected their belief in the administration's vision for national renewal.
They are interested in who can run Nigeria, who can improve Nigeria, who can put food on the tables of Nigerians. And they have since declared on the floor of the 10th Senate that they are now members of the All Progressives Congress.
Senator Dahuwa, who formally announced his exit from the People's Democratic Party on October 11, said his decision was prompted by unresolved internal crisis within the opposition party, which he claimed that hindered effective legislative performance.
We are not joining another political party or we are joining for anything but as patriotic Nigerians to move Nigeria forward, because we believe the president is doing very well economically, in the security area and everywhere. So I think we just want to join this winning team so that we will win together.
Because the president is really doing well and I want to come in and support him. In delivering the dividends of democracy to our people. Thank you.
Your people supporting this, did you take this initiative by consulting your people or you just took it on your own?
Our people are aware of what Mr. President is doing and they are in full support.
On his part, Senator Jarigbe said his move was inspired by the president's leadership style and policy direction, which he described as impactful and worthy of support. He noted that his defection would help him deliver better representation and results for his constituents.
The new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Josh AMUPITAN, has officially assumed office. This follows the swearing-in by the President Bola Tinubu in Abuja on Thursday. President Tinubu, who administered the oath of office during an expanded National Economic Council meeting, charged the new INEC boss to protect the integrity of Nigeria's elections and strengthen the Commission's institutional framework. In his remarks, Professor AMUPITAN pledged to deliver credible, transparent, and an inclusive election across the country. He also promised to work closely with political parties and stakeholders to enhance public confidence in the electoral process. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it has recorded major gains in Nigeria's anti-corruption drive. The commission says it recovered over 566 billion naira and $411 million over the last 2 years. The EFCC claims it has secured more than 4,000 convictions, strengthened compliance systems, and expanded its operations to 17 zonal offices nationwide. The EFCC chairman, OLUKOYEDE, said the commission remains committed to professionalism, transparency, and renewed momentum in tackling financial crimes.
Nominated in October 2023 by President Bola Tinubu and confirmed by the Senate the following day, EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede says the past 2 years have been focused on institutional reforms and strengthening integrity within the Commission. Speaking on behalf of the Executive Chairman, senior management officials presented a detailed breakdown of the EFCC's performance, including convictions.
The National Economic Council says it is reviewing new security measures to curb crude oil theft and boost the nation's output. This forms part of the takeaway at the last INEC monthly meeting at the Presidential Villa. Our next report captures more of the meeting, proudly announcing an increase in the nation's oil production.
Measures across oil-producing regions, according to the National Economic Council. Chairman of the NEC Ad hoc Committee on Crude Oil Theft Prevention and Control, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, told the council that daily crude output has risen significantly from about 700,000 to 800,000 barrels before May 2023, owing to intensified surveillance and reduced pipeline vandalism.
Before 2023 May 29th, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in as the president, our crude oil production was around 700 800 barrels a day.
In another development, the Council approved President Bola Tinubu's proposal for a comprehensive overhaul of all security training institutions in the country.
The National Economic Council, NEC, approved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's proposal to oversee the overhaul and revamp of training institutions for security agencies nationwide.
Council also directed the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to establish pilot schemes on agriculture where to capture data as well as control centers in 6 geopolitical zones by 2026.
A committee chaired by Governor Peter Amba of Enugu State with former Inspector General of Police Usman Baba as secretary has been set up to carry out on-the-spot assessments and recommend reforms. The Council also directed the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to begin establishing pilot agricultural data control centers across the 6 geopolitical zones by 2026.
Some stakeholders in the mining sector are calling for increased efforts at improving the nation's mineral revenue mobilization. They made a call in a forum which brought together leaders in the sector from different parts of the country. Our next report captures more.
Stakeholders in Nigeria's mining sector are gathered here in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The essence of this gathering is to have a regional dialogue aimed at improving mineral revenue mobilization and data rendition across the non-central zone. The forum, organized by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, seeks to create stronger collaboration among agencies to enhance transparency and boost revenue generation from the solid mineral sector. The forum, organized by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, seeks to create stronger collaboration among agencies to enhance transparency and boost revenue generation from the solid mineral sector.
The Commission is here in Plateau State today with its partners in the country's mining sector to unveil the implementation of the new data rendition templates, developing the necessary synergy required to boost mining operations and resultant revenues accruable.
Professor Steve Ukpa, Chairman, Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Ukpa, said the new data rendition template being introduced by the Commission will ensure accurate reporting, better coordination, and accountability in mining operations nationwide.
When I noticed that the discussions will be centered to around the accurate data rendition which will improve the 13% derivation from the Federation account, which in turn supports the infrastructure, education, and health project.
It is therefore a responsibility of the Commission to look into the areas of potential lapses or discrepancies in revenue, remittances into the Federation account from all economic sectors for the purpose of organizing the 3 tiers of government.
The Commissioner for Chieftaincy and Local Government Affairs in Nasarawa State, Muazu Maipata, highlighted the need for synergy between states and federal agencies. He noted that effective implementation will revive mining productivity across the region.
We are assuring NAMFA that Nasarawa State, being the home of solid minerals, we are going to cooperate, we are going to partner, we are going to synergize to ensure the success of this template.
Since 1902, when solid minerals were first discovered in Plateau State, this sector has faced several setbacks, but stakeholders remain optimistic that renewed collaboration will reposition mining as a major contribution to Nigeria's economic growth.
And to some good news for Nigeria, as the Supreme Court in the United Kingdom has asked to process an industrial development P&ID to pay £43 million in compensation to the country. This is contained in the judgment of the court, which dismissed the appeal by the company. In an unanimous judgment by a 5-member panel, the Apex Court upholds the decision of a commercial court and the Court of Appeal. The courts maintain that the award must be paid in currency used by Nigeria to settle its legal fees during the litigation. The Apex Court ruled that P&ID pay the sum in pounds sterling rather than in naira. Nigeria will host the 2026 World Public Relations Forum, making the first time the global event will take place in Africa. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations announced the development during the national unveiling of the forum in Abuja, confirming that the event will bring together professionals, academics, and policymakers from over 120 countries. The forum themed Responsible Communication, the voice of the world, will focus on ethical and impactful communication while positioning Nigeria as a global hub for public relations and strategic communication. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described the forum as a national honor and an opportunity for Nigeria to project its authentic story, counter false perception, and promote creativity, resilience, culture, and tourism. Let's go on a break now. When we return, we will bring you some good news on Dangote's new fortune surge. That's on Business News. Stay with us.
Data according to the United Nations World Food Programme says 30.6 million Nigerians face acute food insecurity. Experts blame on many factors, which include the security challenges in the North and Middle Belt, post-harvest losses, poor storage facility, and a couple of other issues. Over the years, there have been efforts at boosting food production in Nigeria, taking advantage of its over 70 million hectares of land, multiple agroecological zones, and a climate favorable for year-round farming. There have been several other such interventions by governments at council, state, and federal levels, including the Produce for Lagos program and the 500 billion naira guarantee fund scheme by the Lagos state government. In September, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Yari, said the prices of food items have crashed across the country, but some Nigerians differ, saying they are yet to feel the ease.
Before, we said chicken for it before, but now we sell 5,000 naira.
This one, before at the selling 300, now at the selling 500 because we know it don't cost. Down at the selling, before at the selling 3,500, now at the selling 6,000. Everything don't cost.
About 2 months ago, we are buying the fruit like you rice or back of rice is 70-something thousand naira, like 75, 78, 73. But now 60, 62, 50, 55 safe. So if I look, it's gone down now. Not say like if you was increasing the price now.
2025 marks the 80th anniversary of the annual World Food Day, which is celebrated on October the 16th every year. This year with the theme,
hand in hand for better food and a better future. The United Nations target building a peaceful, sustainable, and food-secure future where everyone has access to a healthy diet. To achieve this, experts suggest the way forward must be comprehensive, from tackling insecurity to investing in climate resilience farming to improving storage, irrigation, and transportation systems. That's in addition to strengthening farmers' cooperatives, access to finance and research. With the right investment, policies, and protection for its farmers, Nigeria may be on its way from food insecurity to food sovereignty. Because in a nation so richly blessed, no one should go hungry.
Welcome back, and to some business stories. Africa's wealthiest businessman Aliko Dangote has seen his fortune surge to $30.22 billion according to the latest data from Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Bloomberg's tracker also showed that Dangote's wealth jumped by $89.2 million in the past 24 hours, securing his position as the 75th richest person globally. Dangote Industry Limited controls strategic interest in several listed and private companies across Africa's industrial and consumer sectors. Dangote's wealth is largely anchored in his Lagos-based conglomerate. He owns a 92.3% stake in the facility, which has been steadily ramping up production capacity towards its full output of 650,000 barrels per day. The federal government's total revenue has enjoyed an increase by 68.1% to 20.98 trillion naira in 2024, up from 12.48 trillion in 2023. This is according to the Budget Office of the Federation in its fourth quarter 2024 report. However, the figure remained 4.89 trillion naira below the 2024 annual budget projection. Now on the foreign scene, the United States President Donald Trump has ended trade negotiation in Canada, citing a Canadian advertising campaign that he said misrepresented former President Ronald Reagan and interfered with U.S. policy. Trump made the announcement on his social media network on Thursday. The advertising, produced by the Canadian province of Ontario for U.S. television, was described by Trump as misleading and intended to influence a pending U.S. Supreme Court ruling on his global tariff. Canadian officials have yet to respond to the decision. Earlier, Prime Minister Mark Carney, speaking during a budget address on Wednesday, said the U.S. changed trade policy required Canada to adjust its economic strategy. A Turkish court has dismissed a case that sought to unseat the leader of the country's main opposition party, Oswald Özel, ruling that the charges had no substance. The case brought by the former party member in February centered on allegations of vote buying and irregularities at a 2023 Congress of the Republican People's Party. The court ruled on Friday that the claims had no basis. The Congress had elected 51-year-old Özel as chairman at a time when hundreds of party members faced arrest over alleged corruption. Let's head out to the sports arena where Oluwabori Ademola is standing by for our sports stories.
Thank you, Praise. Welcome to Sports. I am Oluwabori Ademola. The Premier League returns, and it's a weekend full of mouth-watering clashes and plenty of drama guaranteed. Here's a look at the Premier League fixtures lined up for an action-packed weekend of football. The weekend kicks off under the lights at Elland Road as Leeds United host West Ham. Both teams will be desperate for points, Leeds fighting to climb out of the bottom half, while the Hammers look to build on recent form and push for European qualification. 5 exciting games take center stage. Newcastle United welcome Fulham to St James Park, hoping to maintain their strong home record. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea face Sunderland, with the Blues eager to find consistency after a mixed run of results. Over at Old Trafford, Manchester United take on Brighton in what promises to be a tactical battle. Meanwhile, Brentford hosts Liverpool, and the Bees will be aiming to cause an upset against an Slotsmen. The weekend wraps us this Sunday with a thrilling set of 5 matches. Wolves take on Burnley, while Bournemouth face Nottingham Forest at the Vitality Stadium. At the Emirates, Arsenal hosts Crystal Palace, with Mikel Arteta's side hoping to strengthen their title charge. Aston Villa meets Manchester City in one of the standout fixtures, a real test for Pep Guardiola's side, away from home. Finally, Everton face Tottenham at Goodison Park, with both teams eyeing a strong finish before the international break. Ademola Lookman's turbulent summer transfer saga may be behind him, but his long-term future at Atlanta remains unclear despite his impressive return to the starting lineup. The Nigerian forward's current contract only runs to June 2027, and it is not clear how long he will remain in Bergamo, although the turbulence of the last few months appears to have been left behind. Lookman tried to navigate his own exit from Bergamo this summer, which ultimately failed. Inter Milan pushed hard to sign the La Dia star, but a fee couldn't be agreed upon. This was followed by mutiny and escape. Then he returned to Bergamo amid the club's difficulty accepting a situation that wrecked the normal routine for at least a couple of months. It will be very important for La Dia to get his goals back, particularly after another goalless draw in the Champions League clash against Slavia Prague. But inevitably, before the end of the year, they will have to sit down and discuss the next step regarding his contract situation. His contract is not a long one, but this time, everyone must come together and agree on the solution to avoid further storms on the horizon. This is why his performance can help boost the profit margin, as Atlanta were never prepared to drop below a certain figure for the 28-year-old who celebrated his 28th birthday on Monday. That is all on sports for now. Christiana Chikeze has our entertainment stories.
Thank you, Praise. Welcome to the entertainment segment. I am Christiana Chikezie. Nigerian TikTok sensation Habib Hamzat, popularly known as Pella, has set social media abuzz after earning about $71,500 from a single live stream session on the platform. The young creator reportedly received 11 million coins from fans during the stream, a gift value of roughly $143,000 before TikTok's 50% deduction. The session drew over 121,000 viewers, making it one of the biggest live stream payouts by an African creator. Pella credited part of his success to gospel singer Nathaniel Bassey's Hallelujah Challenge, which he said inspired him to host the groundbreaking session. The milestone has sparked excitement across social media, with fans celebrating his achievement and calling it a major win for Nigeria's fast-growing online creator community. With this feat, Pella joins the ranks of African creators, proving that social media can be both entertaining and rewarding. On the foreign scene, reality TV star and businesswoman Kim Kardashian has revealed that she has been diagnosed of brain aneurysm. The 45-year-old made the emotional disclosure during the premiere of Season 7 of The Kardashians, which aired this week. In a scene from the episode titled Feels Like the Old Days, Kim was seen looking at her brain scan before saying there was a little aneurysm. The moment quickly became one of the highlights of the new season, as the star admitted it had been the hardest week of her life. Reports say that no further details were shared about her condition, and her representatives have not released a statement. Fans have flooded social media with messages of support, praising Kim for her openness and courage. The revelation adds an emotional twist to the show, giving viewers a glimpse into the star's personal struggles beyond the glitz and glamour of her public life. And that's all on entertainment news. Back to you, Praise.
Thank you, Christiana. That's much we can take at this hour. Please follow us for more reports and updates. You can check for more on our website at africanews24tv.ng and as well on all our social media platforms. I am Praise Adeleke. Bye for now.